them. Hey, give it to them. Come on, hey, give it to them. Give it to them.
Yeah, y'all know what it is. It's a Give It To Him Friday, man. And I'm here with my man Josie Kid, my man P Double, man.
Peace.
Give it to y'all, man, on this Give It To Him Friday. And on this Give It To Him Friday, man, episode 17, man, we got a couple things we want to get into here this evening, man. We're going to get into Travis Rudolph, man. Crazy stuff going on with Travis Rudolph, man. Shout to him, man, for coming through. We're going to also go and get into Scottie Pippen, man. Pip out here tripping, P. I don't know what's really going on with this guy, man.
He in his feelings.
But he out here spewing a lot of hate, man. So we're going to definitely get into that with Scottie Pippen. And also, man, we're going to get into Cornel West. Cornel West laid some big news on us over the weekend, man. So we're going to discuss that and touch that a little bit. And we also, man, going to get into something that's kind of sad, man. That's really sad, not kind of sad. That's truly sad, man, which was the shootings that happened during the graduation in Richmond, Virginia, man. So we're going to get into those four things during this episode of
Give it to them. Give it to them. Hey, give it to them. Come on. Hey, give it to them.
All right, y'all. So yeah, man. So this week, man, Josie, we got a lot of things that we're going to get into. So tell me a little bit of some of the things that you had on your mind this week, Josie.
Man, listen, I don't know about everybody else, but it's a great time to be alive in 2023. It's a lot of amazing things happening. It's more opportunities available to average everyday people. And if you can't make it out here today, then you just can't make it. So a lot of the things that's been on my mind is a lot of the amazing stuff that's happening. One of the runners up for the things that we talk about was there's a group of folks out there trying to become the Federal Reserve for the average community or neighborhoods around the country and give you an opportunity to have somewhere else to go besides the bank to fund the business or buy a property. So I think that's amazing. Shout out to them.
Interesting. Nice.
No doubt. And P Double, man, shout out to you, man. How you feeling? What's going on with you for this week, man?
Gentlemen, how we doing today? Listen, I'm in Buffalo, New York, and in Quebec, there are brush fires. You know what I mean? And it's something that is new to the area. And the smoke from the brush fires from Quebec and Alberta, Canada also, the smoke is coming down into the U.S. And being in Buffalo, we're borderline Canada. So we're getting all the smoke. We're getting inhalation. I go to one of my cars. I could see some of the debris from the smoke on my windshield.
Right.
So just think what's getting into your lungs, if you back and forth, like, my jobs, I'm back and forth. I'm outside a lot. Right. So the pollution in the air is ridiculous here. And now I'm hearing it's getting all the way down to the Carolinas. You know what I'm saying?
That's crazy, man. When I turned the news on and they were showing, the air, and speaking to my Wiz, he letting me know what's going on up there, man. And it was like, man, it's crazy. People really got to pay attention to, climate control, exactly. What's going on. It's bigger than what people try to make it to be. You know
right.
what I mean? So yeah, man, I'm glad that everybody's live and breathing and doing well. And we're going to go ahead and we're going to jump into this Give It To Them Friday. The first thing we're going to talk about here tonight, man, I don't know if the audience, if y'all are familiar with the Travis Rudolph story or not, but we're going to go ahead and jump into this Travis Rudolph story. We're going to give a rundown of a news clip, and then we're going to come back on the other side and react to what we saw from the Travis Rudolph tale. So here we go.
Let's go.
Trial for former NFL player and FSU star Travis Rudolph continues. Testimony for the trial. It started Wednesday. Rudolph is accused of killing a man and injuring another during a shooting in Lake Park 2 years ago. Rudolph says it was self-defense. Our Caleb Califano live outside the Palm Beach County Courthouse with more. Caleb.
Well, it definitely was an intense morning here in the courtroom as the defense started their cross-examination of Dominique Jones. That's the former girlfriend of Travis Rudolph. It's also the same woman the defense cast some initial blame on the night of the shooting.
Answer, correct.
Yes, it's correct.
You remember that?
Yes.
So you smashed his iPhone not out of anger, but because you were hurt?
Yes.
Okay.
And I didn't send my brothers to kill him.
No, you just sent a text to go shoot up his shit, right?
I didn't say shoot him.
You sent a text to go shoot up his shit, right?
Correct.
Tell the jury what the shit is.
When you're angry, you say things. I'm sure everyone in this courtroom has said something when you're, I'm trying to speak. If you want me to answer your question, you have to let me answer your question.
Well, if you were responsive to my question, I wouldn't have.
All right. Answer the question, please.
Okay. Can you repeat your question?
Question was shit. What does shit mean in the context of that text?
Anything but him.
Okay. So it could have been his brother.
No.
It could have been the house.
Nothing violent toward a person.
It could have been his mother's house, right?
I was upset and my adrenaline was running and I said something that I didn't mean. That's the bottom line of that. I didn't mean for my brothers to do any of that. That's why when my brother left the house, he did not have a firearm on him. People say things when they're upset that they don't mean all the time. But since the situation has happened, it obviously blew up 20 times more. But I didn't necessarily mean for anything to happen to Travis, his family, his house, or anything. It was like my second home. I would not want anything to happen there.
All right. And he never raised a hand and touched you, did he not?
Yeah, he was raising his hand the whole time, like grabbing.
Why'd you want to smash his car window?
Like I said, it wasn't intentional. I was just throwing things because I was upset.
And when you were throwing things, you were also screaming things at him, like you were going to send your brother Keyshawn over to kill him, right?
Never, ever, ever said the word kill at all.
Okay, so
4 men showed up at his front door.
And you told both of them that Travis had picked you up and slammed you to the ground, right?
Yes.
And that he had disrespected you.
Yes.
And you also sent a text message to Keyshawn at roughly 9:45 that Travis dropped you to the ground. Do you remember that?
Yep.
And in response to that text message, Keyshawn sent a group text message to you and Tyler Robinson that Travis is a dead man walking. Is that correct?
Yes.
And that's the message that you deleted from your phone, right?
No, I deleted the shoot his shit up message.
And you also deleted the dead man walking message.
Oh, I'm not sure. I don't remember if I did or not.
So you really weren't making a living as a...
Oh, yeah.
Oh, damn.
So check this out, y'all. So let me give a little bit of backstory on this. That was just a smidget, nieces and nephew, friends and foes out there. You know what I mean? This was a snippet. So what this is about is a former NFL player was dating this young lady who was on the stand there. Now, this young lady also was married during the time she was dating Travis Rudolph. So Travis Rudolph, this lady got Travis Rudolph's phone on Valentine's Day because he didn't go all out for her for Valentine's Day. So that's what the whole argument stems from. So she gets hot at him because he didn't break the bank on Valentine's for her. So she pitches the bitch and tears his house up, puts hands on him, busts out windows of his car,
and then still got the nerve to call somebody on it.
Calls her brother up and fabricates that he put hands on her, threw her to the ground. Long story short, her brother comes up with his mans in them, Travis Rudolph,
thinking they tough guys,
and kills one of the guys. So, Josie, when you see this lady's attitude when she's up there talking to the judge, not to the judge, but to the lawyer, to the attorney, what goes through your mind when you just see her whole attitude, her whole posture while she's up there?
What goes through my mind is exactly what a lot of songs are about, and a lot of reels that I see where they try to talk to these women and say, you was the cause of that shit, and you know it. Stop playing like you don't know you got somebody killed. And that's what I think about. I think for real, she orchestrated it. She pulled everybody's strings. She was the battery and everybody back. And it was some selfish representation of how women act nowadays. It was callous, careless disregard for everybody involved's life but hers. And it still is now on the stand, admitting to fucking felonies. Idiot box. I got no sympathy for whatever happens to her.
P, when you see her up there going through her gyrations and giving her little attitude, what goes through your dome, Lord?
I don't know. She got some huge cojones,
right?
She got boss
in front of the judge. You just gonna.
I'm not.
I mean, people say things when they mad, yeah, and there's consequences to them.
She got boss.
You face every single last one of them
with a Z at the end. Boss. You know what I mean? Like, how you gonna get up there and just, you know, she letting the court system know that she's speaking. I'm speaking. You should be listening to me. You know what I mean? Even though her brother's gone because of this. You know what I'm saying? She's an example of
the brother that got killed.
No, it was
one of his mans.
One of his
mans. Okay.
But here's this.
She acting all callous. She didn't really feel it.
Let me put a little bit of hot sauce on this one. So the guy who unfortunately lost his life because of the death, his mom's did a GoFundMe and raised like $35,000 for his funeral purposes. And they made it seem like that he was a peacemaker in the whole thing. He just happened to get caught with the bullets because he was out there.
Right.
Unbeknownst to what.
Well, I mean, they changed the narrative.
That ain't what the videos show. They can change whatever they want. They're on camera.
With their hoodies
on this man's door with all of their hoodies drawn, ready to cause damage. You wasn't an innocent bystander with your hoodie drawn like this, ready to do damage. Stop it.
No peacemaking there, not at all.
No.
You know, it's funny. It's wild, man, that this lady, man, I'm going to continue to call her a lady regardless. This lady, like you said, P, had the stones to get hot at somebody else for what they not doing for her. And she is married.
Right. That's the part. That's the cherry on top. How dare you expect anything? And how dare you come and damage? Not only did I not feel like you deserve nothing, so I didn't buy you nothing, so I held on to my change, but you gonna come and damage my stuff because of it, and then you're gonna try to make me lose my life.
And you married?
Talk about a psychopath.
Wow. And there was a point where she said that he didn't ask her if she was married or not, so she didn't feel like she should mention it, or she should bring it up, or it was, you know what I mean? Well, I'm married. Well, you never asked if I was married. That should be something that you should, you know what I'm saying? You should let somebody
part of the application. That's
man.
You know, that's part of the application. He missed that part.
We done all not checked the box that we was a felon before. I'm just saying.
you wow.
But you know, shout out to Travis Rudolph, man, because he was able to beat the charges, man. He's able to
shout out to my man for throwing the stones up and saying, no, we going to trial. I don't know. Hell no.
Right.
Yep. And quiet is kept. I would not be mad at him if he would have put them all down. How y'all come to my house on this nonsense on the direction of this girl and you don't even know what happened? I can see if you saw me do something to her, but you just gonna listen to some hearsay and come to me with man, don't come to my house with that.
But the bottom line is she didn't get no charges. She's still out here living in the world, and all I'm gonna tell her is
just admit it. She don't get charged. They gotta get it together.
Just get it together. Just get it together. Just get it together. Just get it together. Just get it together.
Terrible.
Because she playing games. Yeah. So that was our first topic, man. Was Travis Rudolph, man. Again, shout to Trav Rudolph, man, for getting your life back.
Salute, King.
And to that lady, Dominique, whatever your last name is, man. Get yourself right, man. Because
get yourself together.
You playing games, man. So the next
go learn.
So our next topic, man, is another. Unfortunately, it has to do with guns. This is another topic that we're going to talk about that is involving guns, man. And it seems like, you know,
and we're not gonna blame the guns. We're gonna blame the ignorant shit and the nonsense. They should not have access to the guns. There should not be warfare and wartime artillery on the street. Period.
no, fuck that. I'm gonna blame the guns, because if they didn't have the guns, they couldn't shoot up shit. They could do this if they had to have beef. They didn't have
Knuckle up.
to, they didn't have to go to the guns.
You know these fake,
You know what I'm
tough,
saying?
aggressive ass niggas. It'd just be a bunch of stabbings.
Well, you could come back. You could come back from a stabbing, my man.
Right? You might be able to live. That's right.
You know what I'm saying? So this next topic, man, is about a sad situation that happened out in Virginia at a shooting. So we're gonna go ahead and I'm gonna play this video. Then we're gonna come back and we're gonna react to that, y'all. So y'all hold tight, man.
Man. Condolences to everybody involved.
This morning, a Virginia community in shock after a mass shooting brought chaos to a high school graduation. At least 7 people were shot outside a Richmond theater where graduates and their families were leaving the ceremony.
Probably at least like 30 shots total. I saw the ambulance pull away several people off of the ground.
Police say 2 people are dead. A family member telling ABC News they were father and son, 18-year-old Sean Jackson and his father, Renzo Smith, there to celebrate his son's graduation. Jackson's younger sister was hit by a fleeing car and is recovering. Wow. This image shows students in caps and gowns running from the scene.
They just like continuously fired, and everyone started running for their lives.
A 19-year-old suspect is now in custody, expected to face second-degree murder charges. Police saying they believe this was a targeted attack.
We think the suspect knew at least one of the victims.
The superintendent, still in the robe he wore for the ceremony, emotional.
Tired of seeing people get shot, our kids get shot, and I beg of
somebody
the community to stop.
A child should be able to go to their graduation and walk out their graduation and enjoy the accomplishment with their friends and their families. It's nothing sacred any longer.
5 other people were injured.
So yeah, man, that's heavy. You know what I'm saying? For that to go down like that at a graduation, but y'all know you're not safe nowhere.
But the sad part is this, right? We just talked about the many different facets of how they make money with this gun. This gun get purchased. This gun get taxed. This gun gets the opportunity for a person to get killed and for them to make money on the burial and the funeral, as well as the sentencing and the trial of the person involved, and then all of the services provided thereafter or in between. Every time something like this happens, we get the victim and their family and the person lost, and then we get the person who got the battery put in their back and them going to jail. We always lose 2. They get a 2 for every time, and we still don't get it.
Let me put a different spin on this. We have 2 different gun situations. Now, both sad situations because people lost their lives. It's just horrible. You know what I'm saying? We live in a violent society. Now, for all those people out there, for black people who say this is what black on black violence is, black on black, black on black, you know what I'm saying? But isn't it just violence? Because even though we have 2 different situations of black people, there's 2 different ways that people were killed. One person was actually defending himself from another person who happened to be black.
Right.
So, you know what I'm saying? So you can say all of this is this black on black, black on black. Now the graduation situation was ignorant,
right?
Stupid. You know what I'm saying? Ridiculous. Why would you do something like that? You know what I mean? But then again, in the other situation with Travis, he was defending himself. So is that considered black on black crime? You see what I'm saying? So they make it, they'll put it all together to make it seem as if
generalized.
It's just black people.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? When it's not, it's crime. It has nothing to do with what you look like, and it's environmental. You know what I'm saying? It's situational.
They constantly pump these stand your ground laws, but when he stand his ground against 4 attackers, it's in the news every 5 minutes. How?
You know what I mean? I just wanted to add that because it's good that men of a certain age shows you different aspects of us. You know what I'm saying? Even there's an ignorant aspect of us, because some of us are assholes. You know what I'm saying? I don't care what you look like. Every race, you know what I'm saying, got their fair share of assholes. You know what I'm saying? So if you 19 years old, you looking for somebody that owe you some money, you know they graduating, wait until you know what I'm saying? Come on, man.
Man, meet them at the job every Friday when they get paid. At least get your money.
Knuckle up. You ain't gotta kill nobody. Like Josie said, how you gonna get your bread now?
He ain't gonna get his.
He ain't not gonna get your bread. You lost and they lost.
Come on, man.
He about to go sit down for about 25, 30.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
It's stupid shit.
I bet you get your bread back 30 cents an hour, motherfucker.
And salute to Travis for defending himself.
Right.
Come on, man.
Come on, man. Don't come to my house with that nonsense. And I got a family in here to defend. No, don't do that.
I don't care what color you with.
I don't care what your sister said.
Come on, man. You're going to get it. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, so again, I just, I know I went on a little tear there, but it's good that we do this.
If that's how it made you feel, then you know that's what we're here for. This is therapy for all of us to get
this is for you to get it off your chest. Give it to them.
No doubt.
Give it to them. Give it to them.
All right, everybody. I need y'all to like, subscribe, and comment. Let us know that you appreciate all these jewels and all these gifts every Friday. Give it to them.
No doubt.
Man. For me, it's savagery. You know what I'm saying?
Just plain and simple. And it happens in any race.
As Nas once said, catch him solo, make the right one bleed.
There you go.
You know what I'm saying? And not to say to be out there doing that, but at the end of the day, if you got beef with that person, as they say, when you got an attitude at somebody, don't be mad at everybody. Be mad at that person.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Be mad at who you mad at. Don't be mad.
And shoot the fair one too, man. Come on, man.
You know what I'm saying? So man.
Don't be running around here, trying to defend these women that ain't worth defending. You might lose your life. It's real in these streets.
Come on, man.
Don't run up on me with that nonsense talking about your girl, your sister, nothing. And I got my kids and my wife with me. No. Dead.
Pride will get you killed, and emotions will get you hurt
easily.
You know what I'm saying? So those is 1 and 2 to grow on from us right now, man. So we're gonna keep it moving. And our next one, man, is Scottie Pippen himself. Scottie has really been in the news since
I love Scottie, but
since
keeps showing the salty side.
Since the Last Dance, he's been in the news and been salty with Jordan, So Scottie came out again. He's entitled to have his own opinion on who he thinks is the greatest player of all time, but it just seems to me he taking shots and it's kind of personal because some of the things that are going on in his world. So what we're gonna do now is we're gonna go ahead and
give it to them. Give it to them. Hey, give it to them. Come on. Hey, give it to them.
So yeah, we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna jump into see what Scottie has to say. Then we're gonna come back and react to that. All right.
Don't be mad, Scottie, but I ain't happy. I'm just gonna tell you.
LeBron will be the greatest statistical guy to ever play the game of basketball. And there's no comparison to him. None. So, does that make him the greatest player to ever play the game?
That's what you just said.
I'll leave that out for debating because I don't believe that there's a great player because our game is a team game and one player can't do it. Like I seen Michael Jordan play before I came to play with the Bulls. You guys seen him play. He's a horrible player. He was all one-on-one. He's shooting bad shots. And all of a sudden, we become a team and we start winning. Everybody forgot who he was.
Do you think that Michael Jordan would be as successful without you?
No.
In 2009, Michael Jordan entered the bat.
Scotty.
Every time I thought I was out, and they pulled me back in. This motherfucker.
Scotty, man, look, Scotty looked kind of bad, and he kind of looked kind of
sick.
Like
Yo, Fro, but listen though. First off, tell the nieces and nephews though that Scotty was that boy though.
Yeah, Scotty
is that boy, but he lying though, trying to make himself seem like a little more than that boy.
But wait a minute though, Jordan ain't win nothing though until Scotty came. You know what I'm saying? Scotty was that Robin to that Batman. So I mean, right now he going some bullshit.
Wasn't Jordan winning in North Carolina though? Wasn't Jordan winning in North Carolina though?
Yeah, that's college though. That ain't the NBA. He didn't win no championships in the NBA without Scottie Pippen.
He ain't played nowhere in the NBA without Scottie Pippen in the beginning.
Before he played before Scotty got there. You know what I'm saying? Well, when Scotty got there, Scotty and Horace Grant, Jordan wasn't winning though. He was getting knocked out of the playoffs by the Celtics. And you know what I'm saying? He was scoring a lot of points, but he couldn't get over the hump until Scotty and Horace Grant came. You know, so just for you nieces and nephews out there,
Larry Bird and them boys was killing him with them threes.
Man, come on, man. Scotty was that boy.
Scottie Pippen is a product of Michael Jordan.
Exactly.
Don't get it twisted.
But
Scottie Pippen would have played with the Indiana Pacers.
No, none of this would have happened.
None of it. Pippen, that's what I'm saying. He making it seem like Jordan wouldn't have been who he was without him, but vice versa.
But it's vice versa, exactly.
And that's trash. You know, Jordan averaging 37.5. Yeah, he gotta have help because it is a team game.
But y'all blocking so I could score. They telling y'all to give me the ball. Cut it out.
For him to say that he was a terrible player and taking bad shots and different things of that nature, man, that's haterism. And we're gonna speak on Scotty and why Scotty could have a little bit of ism.
A little bit of animosity.
You know what I'm saying? And I know everybody knows Michael Jordan's son, his youngest son, Jeffrey, I think it is dating Scottie Pippen's ex-wife. So it's like, for real, how would you, I mean, you put yourself in Scottie Pippen's shoes. You already in the shadow of Michael Jordan your whole career. Michael Jordan is celebrated as the greatest player, if not second greatest player, depending on who you talk to.
Right.
So he already in Mike's shadow, and now he talking about he couldn't win nothing until the team. Yeah, you got to have a team to win because this ain't tennis or golf.
Right.
Not a singular or boxing. It's not a singular sport. So you got to have a good team, a great team, in order to win. You know what I mean?
Playing the wingman, but stop it.
Right.
You was never the star, Scotty.
He was a star for a moment of time, but again, he didn't get it done. So that's on him.
Right.
That's on Scotty. You know, all he could do is
that when he was a star.
Right. And all he could do is look in the mirror on that. Now, he in the shadow of MJ, who's considered the greatest of all time, and now my ex-wife is laying up with your baby boy.
That's for me though. If I'm in the shadow of MJ, that put me at number 2. So that put Brian at 3 in my eyes, because Scotty got just as many rings as Jordan. And instead of him taking that position and being the king he is, he letting his fucking feelings get in the way. Cut that shit out.
Exactly. Emotional. Carl Thomas.
Emotional. Carl, right? The fuck was that? Nigga, you number 2 in the world. What?
I don't understand why Scotty would say Michael is a terrible player. Come on, man.
If he is, then you're a terrible second.
It's obvious that Michael isn't a terrible player. Now, you upset about Michael's son banging your ex. You know what I'm saying? And it's obvious that that's where all of this is coming from. He wouldn't have said any of this stuff.
Who is that?
You know, come on, man. Come on, Scotty, man. You're looking like a brat right now. You know what I'm saying? You're looking like a brat.
I mean,
you know what I'm
right?
saying? Come on, man. An emotional brat at that. Come on, man.
Obviously, he in the drink. I just looking at him on that video.
He don't look good either, man.
He looked like he fucking around with that tequila a lot, man.
It's awesome.
Exactly.
Drinking.
You look like that was a late night in the early morning.
Smoking them 10-hour cigars, drinking that yak.
Come on, man.
Tearing his ass up, man.
Yeah.
He got braids now and shit. He trying to look like Future. You know
Shout out to Mike for not responding to any of this bullshit. You know what I'm saying?
Scotty down here.
Yeah, come on, Scotty. And you know, Scotty top 75, and you come on with that. You know, come on, Scotty, man.
The crazy shit is you ain't had nothing to say until this shit dropped, and I ain't even had nothing to do with it. That was just somebody else's viewpoint on what was going on. And quite frankly, you could have came right with me and invested in all this shit that I invested in and been right here with all this money. Instead, you a fucking 10-cent quarter water. Like, I don't even get that. How we got a problem when you see what I've done and what I've been able to accomplish and you still hate it. You just want people to talk. That was clickbait.
He in a bad place right now, Scotty.
Yeah.
You know, hopefully
just get it together. Just get it together. Just get it together. Just get it together.
For real, man. That's Scottie Pippen, man. So, you know, we rapped about Travis Rudolph, man. We touched on Scottie Pippen. We talked about the graduation shooting. And the last thing, man, we're going to try to end this episode off with a positive spin on somebody trying to do something positive, you know, in his own type of way. You know what I'm saying? Again, this is episode 17 of Men of a Certain Age on Give It to Them.
Give it to them. Give it to them. Hey, give it to them. Give it to them. Come on. Give it to them.
It's a Give It to Them Friday, man. So yeah, man. Some interesting news popped up before the weekend. Well, today is the weekend, as we are in the weekend. It's a weekend, baby. You know, so yeah, Cornel West announced that he is going to run for president from the People's Party. So we're going to go ahead and listen to him as he announces, and then we're going to come back and we're going to react to that.
I don't know. Cornel West might be able to do it.
I have decided to run for truth and justice, which takes the form of running for president of the United States as a candidate for the People's Party.
So yeah, there it is. Dr. Cornel West putting his foot in the game to run for president next year. You know? So how y'all feel about Cornel West jumping in? How you feel about that, P-Double?
I think it's interesting because what he's doing is with the People's Party, it's like, you know, it's when people are on the fence, like some people have liberal views, some people have conservative views, and sometimes they don't want to go to either side. And when you have someone with an independent, you could probably, you know what I'm saying, coincide with what this person is saying. You know what I mean? But like earlier we were talking about, now it's like 33, and what's going to, you know, where the vote's going to end up going or what's going to get done. But with Dr. West, because I know that his interest will affect me directly. I might gravitate towards him because of his intellect and because of how he knows how politics historically, what they've done to the country. He'd be able to actually do something different that may benefit us. You know what I'm saying? And once you benefit us, you benefit the rest of the country. You know what I mean? So it's intriguing to me. You know what I mean? I'm interested, and I'm going to do some more research, because if it comes down to it, he may get my vote. You know what I mean?
Josie?
Definitely ain't nothing wrong with that. And shit, I feel the same way. Like, when you said it, it was almost like I was apprehensive. Like, that's some bullshit. And it's going to split the vote. And we're going to end up having a situation where we really don't know what happens. Your third may have more electoral votes than my third, and then vice versa. And it'd be kind of this spin where even if I win more votes than you, you win the presidency because your group of people got more electoral votes than me. And then that type of dumb shit. So I was a little apprehensive until I found out who it was. I think Dr. Cornel West is definitely somebody who is intellectual. He's a professional and a professor. And I think that he's a tactician and could be able to think through problems in that way, as opposed to allowing his emotions to get involved or even greed.
Exactly.
We don't need either being involved in the decision making, greed or your emotions. And I think that because of that, he would be an effective candidate and maybe even garner more than a third of the vote. Because of that, he would go head up with whoever was the person that was the most favorable on the other side. And I don't think either candidate, Democrat or Republican, if given the opportunity to go head up with him, and we talking about the idiots that are in the running now, will have a chance against him. If that shit actually caught fire and it was a 50-50 vote and we got a chance to really put our weight behind them as a country, they both might lose, Democratic and Republican parties. And then again, we got a real different spin on what we look like 4 to 8 years from now.
Yeah. So for me, it's like you say, P, it's interesting because y'all know me, I'm skeptical on everything. I'm always looking at everything like, okay, what's the angle,
what's behind it? Yeah.
Why is he coming like this? So, shout out to Cornel West for putting his foot in the thing, into the race. But who is going to hurt most is the Democratic Party,
right?
Because ain't none of the Republicans gonna fuck with Cornel anyway. So ain't none of the Republicans gonna fuck with Cornel anyway. So it's really only going to affect one party, and that's the Democratic Party. So you got to look at it. You got to look at it like that too. Can he win? I doubt it. Seriously, he can win. Can he make some noise? Of course, he can make some noise. Will it be good noise or will it be detrimental to the better or the good? Because you don't want in DeSantis. You don't want DeSantis in there. You know what I'm saying? Look at what he got going on in Florida. You know what I mean? He taking all the books and all of that out of the state of Florida. You know what I mean? So again, man,
all the books, all the services, a whole bunch of stuff he gutting in order to do a whole bunch of nonsense that ain't good for the people.
So you got to
talk about a leader that don't care about his community.
So you got to pay attention to what's going on and how they moving. Why now, Cornel, as opposed to last election? That's what I want to build. That
he couldn't take away from Barack. And again, that's the same thing. They didn't think the Republican
election wasn't Barack. What you talking about?
The one afterwards. Who did Trump run against if it wasn't Barack?
Biden.
But you know what though, gentlemen, the thing is,
right.
With Cornel West running with this particular party that's not Democrat or Republican, it's also an opportunity, even if he doesn't win or doesn't have a chance to win is an opportunity to put himself in a position in the spotlight to get some views out there. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know what? I may not be able to win, but I'm gonna put myself in a position to talk about the injustices that go on in this country. You know, it's like everybody's watching.
The light already shining on that.
So you're gonna
And
kneel.
I think that's
You know what I'm
exactly
saying?
what Pro talking about. If we do that and he know he can't win, then he only hurting us and the Democrats.
But what I'm saying is, if he knows he's gonna garnish, he's gonna get a spotlight like Kaepernick did. So what he's gonna do with that spotlight is he's gonna put out the information that doesn't normally get heard. Like Kaepernick kneeled because he knows everybody's watching the league. Everybody's going to be watching the presidential race. I'm going to say this shouldn't be happening. This shouldn't be happening. Why is this happening? So it's an opportunity. He can use it as an opportunity to get out some views regarding the exactly.
I agree with you. I agree with you on that, P. And it could be a positive for the People's Party to get light shed on it, so more people, you know, in the long run, you know, because there should be a third party.
Right.
You know what I mean? Somewhere, you know, we got the independents, you know, but again, they independent to go Republican or independent to go
exactly.
Democrat. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, man, you know, shout out to Cornel West, man. You know, he's a powerful brother that's been around, that's been doing good things for a long time. So we're gonna sit back and we're gonna watch and see how you move. I'm definitely gonna watch to see how you moving. You know what I mean? And see what's going on.
Right.
You know, there's there's plenty of other things that we've talked about off screen. We've talked about who's the biggest gangster in American history. Who's the biggest gangster in American history, Pete?
Donald John Trump. You know what I'm saying? And not only is he the biggest gangster, he has probably the biggest following as a gangster. You know what I'm saying? He can actually start insurrections by just saying certain things. He can actually.
You gotta think he's just as powerful as John Gotti running.
Come on, man.
Not John. What was the one running the unions? Was my man?
About Jimmy Hoffa.
Jimmy Hoffa. He about as powerful as Jimmy Hoffa was when he was running the union.
It ain't no bout. Me and Pete was talking earlier. He's the biggest gangster ever. Miss me with Nicky Barnes. Miss me with Al Capone. Miss me with John Gotti. Miss me with Jimmy Hoffa. Come on, man. Look at what he did from the time that he got into the presidency until now, man. The man is a straight gangster. You know what I'm saying? How is it, you know, I'm going to get off on a little something right here. How is it that I gotta check if I'm a felon for a job at a movie theater, but this man can be the president of the United States from a jail cell? How does that make sense? How does that make sense anywhere, anytime?
It doesn't, and it wouldn't happen. They would never let that man be the president if he had a felony and was locked up.
It's not the point that it could never happen, but it could.
Josie, he can actually become president and pardon himself. You know that, right?
Exactly. It could happen. It could.
If he is behind bars when it comes time to run, he will not be able to run. I don't care what they said.
So you think they just saying that he could be president of the United States behind bars?
That's exactly what I said.
That's the reason why he's running. That's the reason why
he's running, so he can pardon himself.
So he can pardon himself.
That's bullshit.
Okay.
He can't run if he behind bars. Bullshit.
They could stall him being behind bars. They can stall him actually being, you know, if he may not even be.
They can stall him being behind bars. If he has a conviction on his record when that fucking running come, he's dead in the water. If he don't and they still fighting it or they're still blowing it off, pushing it off, then he won't be in a jail cell running.
But if he becomes president and still is convicted and supposed to go to jail, he can pardon himself.
The man is going to get charged in the federales Tuesday. He's going to get fingerprinted in the federales Tuesday, man.
So by next year, he definitely should be convicted, right?
So he's still running for president as
he's saying he don't care if he get convicted, he's still running, but they are not gonna let. That's not the way that works. No.
Okay.
Are you sure?
That's the
Are
rule.
you positive?
That's the rule. You cannot run if you got a motherfucking F on your report card. No.
No. You wrong on that one, my guy. You wrong on that one,
We're
family.
gonna have to do the research on that, Josie.
We shall see.
I think if you get voted in, you get voted in regardless.
Listen, I got a thing, right, that talk about all of the ex-presidents and how many people in their cabinet done been arrested. Every presidency, a part of their motherfucking cabinet get arrested for some crime or another. Going back motherfucking at least 20 presidencies. This shit's crazy.
But yo, your man is the biggest gangster. Now, what he's gonna do next is probably say he's gonna start another stop the steal, stop the boxes.
They already started with the misdirection.
Started with the stop the boxes.
If you on social media, you see all of this shit. They using everything that they can to make it seem like this just hate against him and vote for Trump. Wow. Oh, how they being mistreated. Oh, how
I don't want to get ahead of ourselves.
Animals,
There's some sort of conviction.
Stop it.
This is the same guy who buried his ex-wife on the golf course, so he didn't have to pay the taxes on the golf course.
No.
What was that? How did that work?
So from my understanding, if you turn the golf course into a cemetery,
right,
then you don't pay no taxes on all of the revenue run through that corporation.
Running for president,
so you get to skate on all this.
There's no federal law. There's no constitutional provision that allows prevent someone from
you
running.
Don't got to fight no more if you run it through that company.
Right.
Listen, Josie.
Even if they are. Yeah, there is no federal law. There's no constitutional provision that allows that prevents someone from running for president of the United States, even if they are currently behind bars. In fact, in 1920, we had a socialist candidate for president who was serving a prison sentence and got almost 1 million votes. You have to go back that far for any kind of precedent. And as you said, we're a long way from any of that. But look, there's also evidence that the last legal case brought against him may have bolstered his standing. Donald Trump only doing better in the primaries since then. Our poll from about a month ago, David, showed that about 54% of Americans thought that he deserved to face criminal charges in this case about classified documents. But that same poll had a numeric advantage for Trump versus Biden. So it may be that a lot of this information is already out there. And we saw Donald Trump tonight set a fundraising appeal within about 15 minutes of breaking the news of his own indictment. He is asking people to raise money. There's no doubt in my mind that it will be a successful appeal because if we know anything about Donald Trump, is that his base is extremely loyal. But again, the bottom line, Rick, that even though we're now witnessing a former president being indicted,
he always can go to them and get money when he needs to defend himself.
He can still run for president. Nothing stops him.
Bullshit.
Bottom line, it becomes practically harder because he has to make court dates. As John Carl was mentioning, the timeline here is very inconvenient, but he is allowed to run for president even while under indictment, even if he were to be convicted.
Bottom line.
While under indictment, but not if he convicted. I don't believe
he
that.
Said if he was convicted.
That's what he said. That's what he said. That's still just a man saying that. I need to see that in legal precedent. I don't want to hear that.
That wasn't Fox News.
Journalists lie all the time.
That was ABC News. That wasn't Fox News where they make shit up at.
That's not. That wasn't entertainment news. That was the actual news.
I need to see it in the book.
So he don't have to retract it. So he makes sure they tell you the truth, so it doesn't have to be retracted.
I told you that's why he running for president. So
he can pardon himself.
Exactly. So he can pardon himself. B.
That's what he gonna try to do.
The man is a straight gangster.
Not happening.
Gangsterism is what this guy. That's gangster paradise is who this guy is.
He thinks so.
Yeah, shit. He said it. He could walk out in the middle of Fifth Avenue and bang somebody and still get away with it, man.
Exactly.
I don't have no love for this guy at all. I want to see him. I want to see him get banged because he deserves it. You know what I mean, man? Did you see that where he had some of this top secret shit? He had it in the bathroom on the West Wing, on the West Wing of Mar-a-Lago and shit. What type of shit is that?
Again, that's the type of shit that you do when you don't care about them documents. If you're selling them, you don't give a shit where you store them.
Exactly.
But he didn't think that they was gonna come and bust in this shit and find none of that. He thought that they wasn't gonna be ballsy enough to come and look and make sure. And yeah, surprise.
Yeah, Donald Trump is the essence of white privilege. He is white privilege. The reason why he got to be president of the United States was his white privilege, because it wasn't fucking nothing else. We knew fucking
wasn't him being
Donald
able
Trump.
to lead.
We saw Donald Trump on TV sitting on fucking gold toilets and shit like that. We saw how he lived. His white privilege is what put him in that fucking White House, man.
Easily.
You know what I'm saying? And now he done took his white privilege and tried to say, I'm bigger than them and than the government. I can do he basically said the Chuck shit. I got a letter from the government the other day. And
I opened it and read it. It said they were
suckers. I ain't taking these boxes back. You know what I'm saying?
And they gave him ample opportunity to do so. You know what I'm saying? They gave him an opportunity to turn the stuff in on his
Every
own.
president done this. But you got caught.
That's his cap for everything.
Right.
His cap for everything.
But they did.
They got a reel out there where he talk about how he used the bankruptcy laws. Shit crazy. He like, yeah, man, I bought this building, and yeah, I went to the bank and tried to renegotiate with them, and they said no. So we just filed bankruptcy and said fuck them. And you know, I mean,
and he jammed up in New
York.
York.
Filed bankruptcy. It was the building, like nigga.
And he jammed up in New York State for just
for
that
very
same
reason,
shit.
right? That same fraud.
Exactly.
You're stealing, Dono. You're trying to steal buildings from people. They won't work.
As they say, every dog has a day, or what is it? Every chicken has to come home to roost, or whatever. Shit. His day is here, man. This motherfucker got all types of charges. You know what I'm saying?
Donald John.
I said when they hit you with 30 something, they damn sure gonna get one.
Shit, 30 counts.
All they need is one to stick.
But what I'm saying, y'all, is Florida is fucking crazy. They done changed it from DC to Florida because that's where the boxes and shit was, right? They down there, and then it's the same judge who passed that other shit so that they couldn't go in his house before.
Right.
It's gonna be the judge that's on the case, right? And then fucking Florida is the headquarters of the Proud Boys and fucking what's the other niggas? Proud Boys and whoever the fuck they is.
Right.
Florida is their headquarters.
DeSantis and them boys.
Yeah, man. Yeah. Florida is wild for the night. Yo.
No doubt.
Wild for the night. But yeah, man, so that is episode 17 of So yeah, man, we appreciate all of y'all for tuning in for this exciting episode. Please like, share, and subscribe. You know what I'm saying? As is always, man, as long as the love and the trust is there, we gonna grow. And as always, man, there's only one dude that we always rock for, man, and it's always DJ Shay forever, man.
DJ Shay forever, baby. Peace.